We see it constantly in the professional class. Individuals generating $20,000 or $30,000 a month while living on the brink of financial failure. From outside, you see the markers of prosperity, premium postcodes, luxury vehicles, and private education. On the inside, there is zero liquidity, heavy consumer debt, and a constant low-grade panic about the next billing cycle. This fragility is driven by a persistent mathematical error. It is the assumption that generating high top-line revenue is the exact same thing as building wealth. Financial security is a problem of system architecture. Optimizing purely for a higher salary without designing a system to capture and retain that money guarantees eventual structural collapse. The economic weight simply crushes the foundation. Money exists in three distinct operational states. Conflating them destroys high earners. This chart shows the first state, revenue. This is gross economic motion. It proves your market value, but it pays no actual bills. It is simply the turbine spinning. The second state is cash flow. This is temporal liquidity, the exact timing of when those inflows arrive versus when your mandatory obligations are due. The third state is wealth. This is retained net value. It is the solid block of assets and choices that remain entirely independent from the spinning turbine. Hyper-focusing on the turbine while neglecting the delay valves starves the reservoir. The result is a personal economy operating at high velocity, yet entirely exposed to the slightest interruption. Let's test this system. Consider an independent consultant billing £15,000 a month. On paper, that gross revenue creates a false sense of invincibility. Then the timing mismatch hits. £7,000 is locked in receivables, amounts invoiced to clients but unpaid for 60 days. Next, $3,500 drops out to cover recurring business operations and fixed lifestyle costs. The remainder is silently claimed by unprovisioned tax liabilities and historic debt service. The retained wealth reservoir receives nothing. A system with massive gross inputs can still suffer catastrophic failure. The revenue was high, but timing mismatches and unchecked obligations drained it completely. This dynamic exposes premature luxury. Acquiring high-status items early is a fatal error in mathematical sequencing. Upgrading your lifestyle in response to a temporary revenue spike ratchets the baseline of your balance sheet permanently upward. A high-end asset, like a luxury vehicle, is a cluster of recurrent drains, an immediate cash outflow, a steep depreciation curve, and repeating insurance and maintenance claims. Every dollar locked into defending that status carries an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives. In this case, the capital needed to buy compounding assets. Acquiring luxury before your foundation is structurally ready traps you in a permanent cycle of mandatory production just to maintain a facade. For the professional class, this trap tightens around irregular, performance-based, or cyclical income streams. This chart shows how volatile income actually behaves over a 12-month timeline. An annual average might look safe on paper, but rent and payroll do not care about annual averages. Financial panic is generated mathematically in these exact moments, when the income wave dips below the unyielding fixed cost line. To survive these dips, professionals rely on a destructive reflex, bridging the gap with consumer debt. Borrowed money comes with interest, which only pushes the fixed cost line higher for the next cycle. High earners rarely go broke from absolute poverty. They collapse from the violent collision of volatile income streams with unyielding monthly obligations. Escaping this requires a non-negotiable, strict sequence of operations to re-engineer the household balance sheet. Step 1. Map a conservative income floor and lower fixed costs. Step 2. Build a liquid reserve buffer. Step 3. Eliminate consumer debt. Step 4. Route unpredictable income peaks directly into a compounding wealth block, bypassing daily spending entirely. Only then do you reach Step 5. The only mathematically safe time to fund luxury is from the stabilized surplus of this newly built structure. When an economic shock occurs, a lost client, a market downturn, or a delayed bonus, the deep, massive foundation absorbs the impact flawlessly. By respecting this strict sequence, a sudden drop in revenue does not trigger a catastrophic collapse of your lifestyle or your autonomy. For the professional class, wealth is the degree of invisible resilience maintained under pressure. There is a constant, low-level anxiety in defending a fragile, debt-funded lifestyle. Compare that to the absolute psychological calm of knowing your structure is unbreakable. The ultimate metrics of financial success are the deliberate reduction of mandatory obligations and the preservation of your future choices. Luxury funded from volatile cash flow is a structural liability. Luxury funded from a fortified surplus is true freedom. Stop optimizing for the visible performance of prosperity. Start engineering your household architecture for timing power and absolute resilience.